Hi, welcome back to the power line. Just trying to give in, just trying to do my best to give advice so I can power my life and also power other people's life so they don't, that you have the power. You just got to have the power line. So I'm just going to talk about quick, a little bit, not that much. And basically, I'm going to talk about how to not take things personally. And of course, that's very hard not to take things personally. And I'll give one example because there's one example, I guess, one thing that I don't need to take personally, but sometimes we might take it personally, or at least I try not to take it personally. But one thing is always if somebody talks the music I have, or maybe the music you have, somebody's going to talk about it, or maybe the music you have, somebody's going to be rude about it, and that's something that always that I need to not take it personally. When somebody's going to be rude about the music that I have and the music that I listen to. So there's basically 7 rules to follow, and rule number 1 is remember their rudeness is about them, not you. So remember, if somebody talks bad, or somebody's being rude about the music that I listen to, I got to remember the first rule is the rudeness is about them, not about me. Their rudeness isn't about the music that I'm playing. The rudeness is because of them, not me. So I can't take it personally and fall into the trap of thinking, oh, this music is because of me, because of the music I'm listening to, there's something wrong. But I gotta remember, it's not me, it's the person, and then the rudeness is about them. It's not about what I'm listening to. So if someone is rude to you, it's not because you deserve that rudeness, it's because they are a rude person. So there's always nice people that you're gonna run into, but maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're at work, maybe you're outside, maybe you're with your friends, maybe you're on a train, maybe you're on a bus, and there's going to be a rude person that might come your way eventually, or maybe sometimes every now and then there's going to be a rude person that might say things. And remember, we cannot take that personally of whatever they want to say. They're just a rude person, and that's all. So it can often be times, it can come up based on their background or the upbringing. And we also remember their upbringing and their background. Who knows what that was like? So if they're rude, that's just because of their upbringing, and their background is different than what yours could be or what yours is. So don't take it personally when someone is rude. So for example, if you're in the gym, you're a bit shy because you're worried about people who will judge you. You shouldn't worry about that. You shouldn't worry about yourself in that situation. So I guess, like I said with the music, for example, if I want to play music and I'm shy and I'm nervous to play the music that I like, I shouldn't worry about people judging me based on my music. And if they want to be rude about it, it's not me, it's them. So you should be thinking this person that it's okay to judge people. So it's not okay to judge people. The person that is being rude basically thinks that it's okay to judge people. So that's a person that you shouldn't be around, especially that kind of person. A person who thinks it's okay to judge others based on something. Or think it's okay to go to the gym to find someone that is trying to improve their life. So basically, you're the person that's trying to improve your life, and you're going out of your comfort zone because you don't want to be shy, and you're trying to do better, and that person is being rude. about it. So they're the ones that are gonna lose, and you're the one that's gonna win in that situation, because you're the one that's trying to do something, and they're the ones that are trying to be rude. They're not improving their life, but you're improving yours. Like I said, so someone stepping out of the comfort zone, someone that might need a little bit of help, instead of helping them, they decide the person to judge them. So like if I do the music, like I said, I'm shy and I decide to do it, the person should be helping me instead of judging me about it and mocked. And of course, that's one thing that a lot of people do that, of course, can get people upset, is being mocked by their clothes, being mocked by their music, being mocked by how they look, or whatever thing it may be. So that's the thing. It's very hard not to take it personally, but those are things that we have to try not to. Is if somebody mocks me for what I dress, mocks me for how I look, mocks me for what I listen to, mocks me for what I watch, mocks me for what I say, mocks me for what I do, all those things. So what kind of person is that? So what kind of person is that? So you shouldn't care about them. And that's the hardest part. I think it's easy to say you shouldn't care, but when soon as those people be rude and start to mock, it's hard not to react and not to care. So it's like they say, if you want to take advice from them, you should take criticism from them. You shouldn't take criticism. So if that person is being rude, or if I want advice, then I can get advice from them, but I shouldn't take that criticism from them. That's two different things. Just remember, we could take advice from someone, but we don't have to take the criticism. Maybe they want to give advice to us, and that's fine. We could take it, but don't take their criticism. So most rude behavior comes from someone else's problems, not because you did it. So if somebody's being rude, remember it's from someone else's problem. It's not because of what you did. You didn't do anything. It's because somebody else had a problem, because they have a problem. Maybe they have something at home or something they're doing that gives them that rude mentality or rude person vibes. So just remember that it's normally them. So what others do is a protection of their own reality. But so number 2, consider other reasons for their behavior. So number 1 was, remember the rudeness is about them, not about you. And number 2, remember the other reason is for their behavior. Let's see. No. So somebody's trying to struggle and need some help, or maybe somebody's stressed. So it's not always personal. And remember, when somebody's being rude or mocked, just remember that it's not personal to you. It's just something that they might be going through. So be kind to everyone you meet to fight the battle and win. So if you want to win, just be kind to every person and you'll win. No matter how rude or how much they want to mock you, you win by being kind. So number 3, you can't please everyone. And of course, that's probably something you've heard, or something that maybe you read, or something that you've been told a lot, or at least I heard that a lot from a lot of books, from a lot of things, is that you can't please everyone, and that's okay. And sometimes we want to please everyone. sometimes we want to please everyone with what we do in life. We want everybody to clap for us. We want everybody to be happy. We want everybody to say good things. We want everybody to be positive feedback. We want everybody to do this and that. But remember, everyone can't be pleased. And sometimes we try to make things perfect. I'm going to say this perfect thing. I'm going to do it in this perfect way so I can please everyone at the same time. But that's never going to happen. You can't please everyone. So it's not your job to please everyone, and it isn't your job. So you can't please everyone, and it isn't your job. So it's not your job to please everyone, and remember, you can't. And the thing is, if you think you're one of those people, it's like that. So, you do a favor of someone else, and the other persons are really mad. So basically, you please one person, and the other person is angry now. So like I said, you can't please everyone. So they might think, why is this person doing a favor for her or him and not for me? So that, like I said, I can't get mad about that. When somebody does a favor for one person, why are they doing it for that person? Who knows? That's not for me to take personally. So don't take a favor for somebody else and they're not doing a favor for you. Don't take that personally. Maybe they're more friends, maybe they know each other, or they know each other for a long time, they're friends, so of course they're going to put that friend first that they've known for a long time before they put you, or before they do a favor for you. They're going to give their favor to their family, to their friend first. So don't take that personally. So you can't please her and not for him. So you can't please everyone, and that's not your job. That's a bunch of ants. It should be fine. So you can't please everyone. It's not your job. So your job is just to, look after yourself. The sun. So we always have to look after yourself first. And that's not being selfish. Just because you look after yourself first, that's not being selfish. And maybe somebody might think you're selfish because you're looking out for yourself. You're prioritizing your life. You're making sure that you need to do things in the right order. And maybe that might look selfish on the outside, but it's not. Because if you look after yourself, you're a better person. Because, if you look after yourself and you prioritize your life and you do what needs to be done first, then you can become a better person for the people around you. So you're living a better life for your loved ones. You're living a better life for your friends, for your family. If you look after yourself, so they can appreciate it also. So they see that you're happy and they want to see you happy. And those are the best friends and family to have, is the ones that want to see you happy. You don't have a responsibility to live up to what others expect of you. That's a good point. Is sometimes those expectations can crush us, or those expectations can feel too heavy, and those expectations sometimes can be impossible. So we just want to fail, or we think we failed because those expectations were too high to meet in the first place. And we want to live up to things, and of course we want to live up to certain expectations in life, or the main things that everybody does and knows. Expectations to get a car, expectations to do this and that. And sometimes when we don't meet those expectations, we start to feel stressed, we start to feel depressed, we start to feel empty because those expectations are not met, and we didn't live up to someone else's or someone's expectations that they had for our lives. All right, so number 4, outside view. So now the next time you're feeling a bit down, you're in a situation when you are arguing with someone, someone's rude to you, you've got a bit of a conflict, whatever, about something that's happened. So sometimes we get in conflicts about things that happen. So just imagine you're reviewing this situation as God figured, looking down on it from you have no stake in this. How would you really see that thing? So imagine if God was viewing the situation, or just imagine you was viewing this situation as a God figure. So imagine if you were viewing the situation, looking down on it, and you have no stake in it. So how would you really see that thing? Because oftentimes we're in the middle of the battle, we get blinded by our emotions and ego. So sometimes situations happen and conflicts happen, and whatever it's about, we can't lose the battle. Or in the middle of the battle, we get blinded by our emotions and our ego, because we just want to be right and we just want to win and we want revenge. So that's a bad thing when we get into conflict and we can't want to win. Sometimes we get conflict and all we want to do is win, and then we want to get revenge in some way, in some form. We want to get revenge. But if you look at that from an outside point of view, you can look in and judge it accordingly. So when you get into a situation or argument, you have to judge it accordingly. So try to remove that emotion out of it. So when you get into a conflict, you have to remove that situation out of it. So there needs to be no emotion in that conflict. So it can be difficult, but you can't get better with practice. So it's not what happens to you, but it's how you react that matters. So of course you maybe have heard that, or at least I've heard that in a lot of books, or at least some of the books, most of the books I have. It's not about this, it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you react. So anything can happen to you any day, anytime, anywhere. Things can happen, but it's about how you react to it. So we need to grow from that criticism and define your own values. So criticism is great, right? I think of it in this way, that to seek truth, and if someone criticizes you, have to see the truth in it. So if somebody criticizes you, there is truth in it sometimes. So we have to see that truth in criticizing. Sometimes there can be. So the truth can either be that the person is saying things that are wrong and they're making false statements. So maybe they're making false statements about you. So remember, if they're being rude, and you know that they can't be making false statements about you, which we should just roll it off our shoulders. It should not matter like water off a dog's back. Saying that shouldn't matter at all, because it's not true. So remember, if somebody's being rude, don't take it personally, especially if it's things that are not true at all. But what if it is true? What if somebody's being rude, but the criticism they have for you is true? Then it gets serious. Because what they say, you can use this as gain, or that it's a great thing. They're picking out a weakness of yours. They're picking out a weakness and showing that you're put put it in your face no matter, do it in an annoying way. So that criticism can be true, and they might put it in your face in a annoying way. But you can take that and learn from it. So if somebody's giving criticism and it's true and it's serious and they're doing it in an annoying way, I'm going to have to take it and I'm going to have to learn from it. And I need to grow from it. So if they pick out a character flaw, you can grow from it. So you don't have to take offense of it. So remember, don't take offense of it, but you got to learn from it. So you can't improve if you can't take feedback. So you can't do that. Well, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it looks like it might be. Well, if it's long, it's long. So you're not your mistakes. Bad people, rude people, controlling people will try and make you believe that your past is your mistake. So let me say that again. You're not your mistakes, but rude people or controlling people will try and make you believe that your past is your mistakes. And they can hold this to you. So don't let people do that. So if someone's doing that to you, they are not a person worthy of being in your life. Remember, if they are doing that to you, then guess what? They should be out of your life. If somebody's going to be controlling or make me believe that my past is my mistakes, and they're going to hold that to me, then they shouldn't, or I'm not going to let that person be worthy of being in my life. They shouldn't deserve my love. They shouldn't deserve your attention. So it's not something a good person would do. You wouldn't do that to someone. So I hope that's not you. So before I lose my train of thought, so you are not defined by your past, and don't let people define it for you. And that can be a hard thing to do, because sometimes people want to keep bringing up the past over and over, and then we believe that it defines us. So you are not defined by your past. You've made mistakes in the past, but everyone has. But are you the one that's going to learn and grow, or are you the person that's not going to learn and grow? And the best thing you can do, for you is decide to be right now. But the best thing you can do is decide to be the person you can be right now. So when people do that and bring it up, remember, I have to decide that I'm the best person I can be right now. That I can be that person now. That I can not the person I was, that I was yesterday, not the person I was a year ago, a month ago, but I have to decide to be the best person I can right now. And maybe you think that it's selfish, but maybe you've hurt people in the past, and the best thing for them also, because even if they don't want to, even if their ego craves, the best thing you can do for people who have done wrong to you is to become a better version. So remember, when those people bring up your past and all of that stuff, the best thing you can do is become a better version. And let's see. And basically, and another point here, your worth isn't up for debates. So what others say doesn't decide your value. So remember, what others say about me doesn't define my value. Why? Because my value is in God. My value comes from God. My value comes from what God says to me, and that's how I decide, and that's how I know my value. It's from God, not from other people, and not from what others say. Your value is how you perceive yourself. So how I perceive myself is how I'm going to value myself. So how I carry myself, how I value myself. So you should only care about yourself, your own opinion of yourself, and that option should be one of I love myself. So I should only remember the opinion should be basically about yourself, and that should be I love myself. Let's see here. I might end it there. So I was saying that people are very superficial these days. It's all about being superficial in this world nowadays. Literally, almost every single thing is about being superficial. Social media, all that stuff. That's a good person. Just because they see on social media, because everything is so superficial, oh, that's a good person. But true good doesn't need to be plastered around the world. Or a true good person doesn't need to be superficial. If you're a good person, then why do you need to be so superficial about everything? And I think, yeah, that's about it. And last points here. And I like this point, you don't need anyone's approval. And sometimes we seek approval from the wrong person. Maybe we seek approval in the wrong ways. It's good to get approval, but we don't need to get anyone's approval. And that's about it. Yeah. So that's about it for don't take things personally. Like I said, it's very hard sometimes, but we got to find ways to do it, or I got to find ways to do it also. And remember that you are not your mistakes. And that's it. And God is good all the time. And I'm out.